Welcome to Grown Folk Talk with Patrice. It's good to be here. Good to have you here with me. So I have a question. If you knew now what you knew then, what would life be? Life is not a dress rehearsal. This is not a chance for a do-over. We have what we have. And sometimes I think we make decisions based on what we knew at the time. But if only I knew. So over the years, I'm sure many of us have said, I wish I had done that differently, or what was I thinking? I'm 60 years old, and trust me when I tell you, I have made my share of mistakes and not taken advice that I should have taken. And when I was younger, I had life figured out. You couldn't tell me anything, or so I thought. But that's what we're going to talk about today. Life experiences are great teachers if we take the lesson from them. So some of you know my guest professionally as the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Naima Astwood. But she is also my friend, Nai.
That's right.
Or Beautiful.
That's right.
That's what I call her. So Naima Astwood joined the Bermuda Police Service in 1994 as a police cadet. And after years of dedicated service, this year, she was promoted to the role of Deputy Commissioner of Police, becoming the second woman to attain that rank. So that's cause to celebrate. Naima holds a bachelor's degree in human management and a postgraduate certificate in public administration and development. She is the recipient of countless awards, most notably the Women of Vision 100 Influential Women of Bermuda, the first female to perform the role of Black Rod within the BPS, the Community Achievement Award, and Senior Officer of the Year. My girl is on fire. Deputy Commissioner of Police Naima Astwood is married with 2 children and a devoted Muslim. So please welcome.
Thank you for
Nice, Beautiful.
VIP.
Yeah, oh, that's my name. That's the name she has for me. So I am excited to have her here to talk about advice we wish we had taken sooner, or if only I knew. How many times do we say, if only I knew?
Yeah.
We should have a t-shirt made,
and
or
a button.
and a button. And a flashing neon sign. Put it on our mug. How many times do we say that, right? So, Nai, with all that you have accomplished, and congratulations, by the way.
Much. Thank you so much.
Some people will know that we worked together some years ago when you were a PC, Naima Williams.
Yes, and you was Astwood, Patrice Frith.
Yes, I was. That wasn't yesterday.
No.
And it has been such a joy to watch you thrive and to blossom into this amazing woman that you are now, the amazing leader, the amazing role model. And so I would imagine that life has taught you a share of lessons. And do you ever find yourself saying, if only I knew, or if I knew then, or if I knew then what I know now, all of that stuff. Does that happen, or are you good?
Every day.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Because everyday life happens.
Everyday life happens. Indeed it does.
And sometimes you listen to yourself, sometimes you don't. And then you reflect on that and say, gosh, could I have did that differently?
Yes.
And if you're not asking yourself that every day, you're not growing.
Oh, hold on. If you are not asking yourself every day, what could I have done differently, or could I have done that better, we're not growing.
You're not growing. You're standing still.
We're becoming stagnant.
That's right.
So we should be reflecting, like maybe the end of the day before we go to bed or whatever, on the things that happen during the day to figure out how do we fix, how do we do better. Even if it turned out okay, there's always room for better, right?
There's always room for better, and not just professionally. If you always want to know better, ask the children. My children tell me all the time, Mommy, I don't like how you did that.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
And so you've obviously created a safe space for them to be able to tell you that. Because I'm thinking back in our day, I don't know that we could have said that to our mamas.
I often say, who am I now? Because I had no opinion when I was younger.
No, you didn't. We didn't.
No.
We didn't even know of the word opinion.
No.
And so how old are your children?
I have a 21-year-old and an 11-year-old.
Oh.
2 girls.
So you have
one woman and one girl.
A woman and a girl.
Yes.
In 2 different kind of eras, right?
Yes.
And so they are both comfortable in saying whatever they thought you didn't do so well?
Yes. And I've learned from my first daughter. She has taught me. to be a little bit more patient,
Mm-hmm.
that life is not always as structured.
Okay.
And just recently, she sent me a message yesterday from university because my shoulder was hurting the night before. And she said, Mommy, if that was me, you would be insisting I go to the doctor.
Oh.
And why haven't you did that?
Oh.
Yes.
The rules have changed.
Yes. Yes.
So she is keeping you on track
Yes.
as you would keep her on track.
Yes.
And she has permission to do that.
She has permission to do that because she's vested in me and I'm vested in her.
Oh, I love it. She is vested in her mom.
That's
She
right.
wants the best for you.
Yes.
So because I think years ago we would have been, you children were seen and not heard.
No, yeah, listen, no opinions.
No. What, right.
Yes.
But so now life has changed in a positive way, I think, in that because you say, okay, my shoulder will be fine, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But she does not want her mom to be in pain or anything else.
No.
So she checks you.
She checks me and I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I really
And so
appreciate it.
has her sister learned and picked up from that as well?
Well, this new generation, listen.
They're rather interesting.
There was
They are
no
rather interesting.
guidebook for the new generation. And they're more expressive because they
Yes.
have access to more information.
Yes, they do.
So no longer can they just say, is what my mom said.
Right.
They go to school, they're on the internet,
Yes.
they travel more, they see different things. So you can't just be the only narrative in their life.
No, remember, do as I say, not as I do?
Yes.
But I think everybody remembers, do as I say, not as I do.
Because at that time, parents, guardians created the framework.
Yes, they did.
And they was very instrumental in what you saw and didn't see.
Right.
Now, once your child leaves the house,
That's it.
actually inside of the house,
Yes.
especially if they're on the internet,
Yes.
you don't always govern that. Even the amount of parental patrols you try to put in place. So we try to expose them, but with the exposure comes information.
Yes. And sometimes information we don't necessarily want them to have.
Or even that we agree with.
Right. So then that means you have to have more of a conversation with them, right?
All the time. All the time.
Do you find yourself saying the things you heard your mother say?
Absolutely. I don't know if they have as much impact because, my mama had, she had 7 children. And when she spoke, we listened.
Yes.
We was like little soldiers.
Whether you agreed or not.
Yes. And no matter how old you were.
That's right.
We
If you were
listened.
living in that house.
Not even in her house.
Oh, even outside of the house.
Even outside of the house.
Really?
Yes. I before I was married with my current husband, and she said, "What's happening here?" And I had to answer.
Really?
Oh, yes,
So
I
you
did.
were married and something was going on?
No, before I got married, she saw him. We was dating.
Oh.
And she said, "What's happening?
What's happening here?"
What's happening here?"
So you're a grown woman by then with
Yes.
a child of your own.
She said, "We are Muslims."
This is not what we do.
Yes.
This is not how we behave,
No.
young lady.
No.
This is not how we conduct
And I was in my
30s. Oh, you were in your 30s?
Yes.
You weren't as grown as you thought?
No, I wasn't. And I listened to her then.
Good for you.
I listened to her.
That's interesting, because you could have said, Mama, I'm a grown woman. But
I
you
could have said it in my
you could have
head.
said it, and you probably did say it
Yeah.
in your head.
Yeah.
But no, you didn't dare. And so you heeded her advice?
Yeah.
Because she only meant what was best for you.
Of course. And she often does. And back to, the topic. When I was, I'll give you the story first.
Yes.
I like a little story.
Of course you do.
And when I was younger, I was in a friendship.
Yes.
And the person wasn't treating me nice.
Yes.
And I went to my mom and I said, so-and-so did whatever. And she was all on my side, that was wrong. Shouldn't do that. And I was like, yes. And so the next time I went to her again and I said, Mom, do you know they did it again? And she looked directly at me and she said, Naima, the first time you're a victim, the second time you are a volunteer.
Mm-hmm. Are you a victim or are you a volunteer? Which one is it?
And that hit me. First, I was mad.
Yes.
Because
Mama didn't agree.
I wanted her to be back on the champion team.
Yes.
And in my mind, she was saying, it's my fault.
Right. And really, she wasn't.
No, she's saying, manage your life.
Manage your life. Manage your expectations. Manage how you allow people to treat you. Manage all of that. And don't come back to me again a third time.
No.
Because I don't want to hear it after that.
Because you're volunteering all over again.
Yes. You keep volunteering. Volunteers don't get paid.
No.
All right. So if only I knew. If only I knew. So we're going to take a break and we will come back and continue our conversation with Naima Astwood. We're talking about the advice we maybe should have taken or not. We'll be right back. You're watching Grown Folk Talk with Patrice.